Welcome to the Game Changer with Dr. Sharalyn, where purpose meets performance and leaders are built to shift legacies. I'm Dr. Sharalyn Payne, executive strategist, speaker, and the secret weapon behind leaders who drive transformation at the highest levels. Each episode delivers bold truths, power skills, and real-world strategies to help you lead with precision, show up with presence, and build the kind of influence that outlasts trends. This is the space where high-impact decisions are born, where influence is intentional, and where the bold don't just lead, they change the game. So if you're ready to rise, ready to lead, and ready to create the kind of impact that moves markets, missions, and minds, you're in the right place. Today, I'm handing you the exact traits, mindset, and daily habits of transformational leaders. Those who shift rooms, reinvent outcomes, and elevate every space they enter. And we're not talking theory, we're talking bold power moves. If you're a leader who's tired of playing it safe, if you know deep down you're built to be the one people count on when everything is on the line, this episode is your blueprint. These are the secrets that separate high performers from high impact leaders. Today, I'm sharing the 10 traits of high impact, high performance leaders, what they see, how they think, how they move, and how they inspire. This isn't motivational fluff. This is the real strategy of visible, undeniable impact. Grab a pen, sit up. This isn't background noise. This is your leadership activation. Let's start with what separates the average leader from the unstoppable one. Game changers operate with a superpower that I like to call visionary intelligence, the ability to see what others miss. Game changers don't just look at what is, they see what could be. Where others see problems, they see pathways and opportunities. This kind of leadership begins with permission. Permission to see what's been normalized. I'll never forget walking into a strategy session for a large public institution that had been stuck for 3 years. They had hired consultants, McKinsey consultants, as a matter of fact. They held over 40 meetings. They created dashboards and surveys and charters, but nothing changed. The executive team was frustrated and the people were absolutely upset. The staff was checked out and the initiative just felt like it was dead in the water, going nowhere. And here's the thing, when I came in, I didn't come in trying to impress them with a new framework. I didn't try and impress them with new language or how smart or intelligent I was. I simply sat and I listened. I wanted to ensure that I heard them, that I understood what was happening and what were we solving for. And then I asked one question that shifted everything. What are we refusing to say out loud that's keeping this project from moving forward? It was silence. You could hear a pin drop in the room. No one said a word. It was uncomfortable. But then we had the breakthrough. Within 30 days, we restructured the effort, addressed the real bottlenecks, and reignited momentum that hadn't existed in that company for years. It wasn't a fancy method. It was the courage to see what no one else wanted to look at while speaking truth to power. I didn't bring new data. I brought a new perspective, as well as courage and boldness. I saw what others had overlooked, and that's what most game changers do. They spot the invisible problem. They unearth what's buried. And they ask the question that makes the room uncomfortable because they understand that's where the breakthrough and the win is hiding. According to McKinsey, only 8% of leaders are considered strategic thinkers. That messes me up, to be honest. That means that 92% are stuck reacting. Game changers challenge default thinking and reject survival mode because they understand that requires a lot of energy and effort to run around just trying to survive. They don't respond to the future. Instead, they get to work engineering the future they want to see. And they also operate with strategic agility, holding three unique perspectives at one time. The vision. That's your big picture thinking, right? Where are we going? Where are we headed? And the strategy, the short term execution. What needs to happen this quarter for us to be successful? And then finally, the execution. And that's just simply the immediate tactical move. What's the one move I need to make right now? I need to make this week so that everything else works. And what's the best next move that I can make? You see, this balance is rare, but it's what separates busy leaders from game changing leaders. So I have a question for you. Where do you spend most of your time? Vision, strategy, or action? And if it's neither, I want you to really think about doing some things different. Are you spending too much time in the weeds and not enough defining the clear win? Where is your leadership vision simply out of focus and you need to recalibrate? Let's shift gears here because game changers don't just think differently, they move differently. One of my favorite things I like to say about great leaders is they lead from the front. What do I mean by that? It is very difficult to lead from the back. How actually do you lead from the back? When I think about think about driving with someone and I'm in a car with someone and you're the backseat driver. You can't see what I see, but you're directing me as to where to turn and what I need to do. So great leaders lead from the front. They embody the change before they demand it. And they don't delegate boldness, they model it. They set and elevate the standard. And there's nothing like a leader that sets the standard. They don't just meet expectations because they understand that's the bare minimum, right? Of meeting expectations, but they set the bar and then raise it, making excellence the baseline. That's where we play from. That's where we start at a level of excellence and a level of clarity, a level of accountability, and a level of responsibility. And then they control outcomes. Game changers reverse engineer success. They know where they're going and they start with the end in mind and then back up from there. So if this is where I'm going to arrive, what has to happen for that to take place, for me to be successful in my endeavor? So they reverse engineer success and they don't hope for results. They define success before they start. They understand we got to know what it looks like. Again, we got to have that clear win and know what we're driving towards. And then they mitigate risk. They don't avoid discomfort. So they're not playing it safe, so to speak. They calculate wisely and act decisively. So they're able to think about what could possibly happen. And if that were to happen, how will we respond? What do we need to do differently? Because there's a probability, a high likelihood that this is going to take place. So, how do we mitigate that risk and get in front of this so that we don't have to deal with it later? So, they have an awareness of what's happening and they understand their risk is filtered through strategy, not fear. We can't run from fear, but we've got to think about what has to happen for us to be successful if we know that this particular thing has the capability to impact what we're working on. There was a time early in my career when I noticed a pattern. Every time a project hit a wall, a senior leader would come running to me behind closed doors, frantic, upset, and began to ask me questions, began to say things. Can you take a look at this? Can I pick your brain? What do you think about this? And I'll be honest, it used to frustrate me because why are you calling me after the fact instead of before this becomes a problem? Until I realized my superpower. I hadn't been officially asked to lead. I hadn't been given the title that I believed I very much deserved and had rightfully earned. But my results had become my reputation. And I was known for being the Oprah. I was known for being a Navy SEAL. I was known for being a secret weapon. I was known for bringing order and establishing order where there was chaos. I was known for being able to do the hard, difficult things that other people were stuck at. And I will remember one moment vividly. It was a high visibility initiative and it was falling apart. The executive leadership team was frustrated. They were cursing and they were angry and they were working these long hours. And it was a lot riding on this particular initiative. The team was demoralized and I had a choice. I could stay quiet or I can step in without permission, but offer them clarity, vision, strategy, insight, execution, project management that I knew would change everything for them. And so I volunteered. I reorganized the structure. I reframed the goals. I revisited the strategy. I initiated daily huddles with the team, ensuring that we were having fun, that laughter was present, the joy was present, and that we worked together. And within a month, the entire tone changed. And guess what else? So did the outcomes. After that, people didn't just ask me to help. They began to ask me to lead transformation. They began to see me as a pivotal part of the team. They knew that when there was a lot riding on something, I was the person to call and the person to bring in. They knew that I was a change agent. And that's when it hit me. Game changers don't wait to be picked. They operate at the level they're called to, not the level they're assigned. And once you operate like the go to, the respect eventually catches up. People want to follow clarity, they respect excellence, and they rise to leadership that lives what it expects. Now, let's talk about the energy that draws people. Magnetism. Presence is strategy. And game changers don't inspire by chance. They create an environment of belief. They inspire and motivate others. They don't push people, but they pull them towards possibility and hope and belief. They become that go to person. They're trusted because they're clear, they're consistent, and they're competent. And they operate with precision. Their habits and systems build invisible momentum. And behind their presence is a system that has been operationalized. They have routines and decision making frameworks and personal operating procedures that guide them and lead them to success. And they understand that consistency with excellence is the calling card of credibility. So let me ask you a question. When people leave the room after being with you, what lingers? What do they think about you? What do they say about you? How do you want people to describe working with you? How do you want them to experience you? Because every system you set, every word you repeat, every expectation you hold becomes part of the culture that you build. So let's slow this down for a moment. If you haven't already, grab your journal. And I want you to reflect with me. I have 6 questions that I want to ask you. And I want you to really think about each of these questions. First question: what am I tolerating that no longer aligns with my standards? What am I tolerating that no longer aligns with my standards? Question number 2: where am I performing instead of leading? Where am I performing instead of leading? Question number 3: what room no longer deserves my energy? That's a good one, isn't it? What room no longer deserves my energy? Question 4: where am I playing small even though I know I'm capable of more? Where am I playing small even though I know that I'm capable of more? Question 5: what's one place I've been quiet when I know it's time to speak? What's one place I've been quiet when I know it's time to speak? And question 6: what do I need to stop doing so I can start operating like the game changer that I am? What do I need to stop doing so I can start operating like the game changer that I know that I am? Game changers don't have to take up space. They know they are the space. So I want you to say this out loud with me. I don't shrink to fit rooms. I was born to shift. I think boldly, move strategically, and inspire consistently. From this moment forward, I lead like a game changer. I see things differently. I move intentionally, and I inspire consistently. This is your leadership identity. I want you to lock it in. Here's your game changer challenge. I want you to pick one secret from today's episode to put into practice this week. For some of you, it may be seeing what others don't. Someone else may say, I'm going to raise and set the standard. Someone else may be saying, I'm going to influence my outcomes. And then someone else may be thinking, I'm going to crystallize my brilliance. Whatever it is, I want you to pick one secret from today's episode to put into practice this week. Post your insight and tag me using hashtag game changer moves. Hashtag game changer moves. Because your brilliance deserves to be seen, shared, and multiplied. And if no one has told you today, you are the one. The room needs your voice. The system needs your strategy. The culture is waiting for your clarity. Until next time, stay anchored in your calling, strategic in your steps, and unshakable in your identity, because you weren't built to blend in. You were born to change the game. You don't lead like everyone else, so your resources shouldn't look like everyone else's. Welcome to the Game Changers Leadership Collection for maximizing performance, potential, and profitability. This leadership collection features best practices, insights, and frameworks for my executive level work with high impact leaders across industries. It's designed to equip you with the clarity, tools, and strategic language needed to lead with credibility under pressure. Let's be clear. In high stakes rooms, executive presence isn't optional, it's mission critical. That's why I created the Executive Briefing Companion, your strategic script for navigating leadership's most defining moments. Whether you're in the boardroom, in front of the C-suite, or facing complex stakeholder dynamics, this tool helps you rise above the noise and lead with clarity, courage, and command. At its core is the 9 executive questions framework, a high-impact structure that ensures your message cuts through uncertainty, aligns your audience, and positions you as the credible voice in the room. Think of this as your strategic battle card, the leadership intelligence you carry into the room that tests you most. Also included is the language of influence, your cheat sheet for persuasive, purposeful communication. These phrases and framing techniques are drawn from high-stakes boardrooms, top-tier executive coaching, and transformational leadership practices. Use this tool to strengthen your executive presence, navigate tension with calm authority, drive clarity, buy-in, and high-stakes alignment, and speak with power without overpowering. You'll also get a preview of the 10 daily power skills, the high-performance behaviors that fuel the world's most impactful leaders, creatives, activists, entrepreneurs, and change makers. These are not soft skills. They are strategic habits that create undeniable outcomes. You'll be able to self-assess with the high-impact leadership scorecard, find your edge, close your gaps, activate your next level. And to ground your leadership in inspiration and intention, you'll receive the power of one poster, a visual reminder that one decision, one conversation, or one action can shift everything. Finally, I'm giving you access to my mini course, 7 leadership blind spots that are secretly sabotaging your culture and success, and how to eliminate them for good. Every tool in this collection is designed to elevate how you think, speak, and lead, because game changers don't follow trends, they set standards. Download the Game Changers Leadership Collection now. It's free, it's powerful, and it's built for leaders like you. I'm Dr. Sharalyn Payne, and this is your Leadership Edge. Thank you for joining me on The Game Changer with Dr. Sharalyn, where we don't follow trends, we set them, and we don't just lead teams, we shift legacies. If today's message challenged, stretched, or inspired you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it, tag it, lead through it. Because real leaders don't just consume wisdom, they multiply it. Want to go deeper? Subscribe to the Ultra Influential newsletter for exclusive tools, behind-the-scenes strategy, and weekly mindset shifts for the leader ready to move nations, markets, and minds. Visit www.smpistrategies.com or send a note to leadership@smpistrategies.com. And if you're ready for next level coaching or consulting that positions you as the right leader at the right time in the right place, let's talk. This is what we do, and we do it with precision, power, and purpose. Remember, change isn't just something you lead, it's something you become. Stay bold, stay brilliant, stay a game changer.